Disney World. Thought I would check in, see what was going on with everybody. I know a unscheduled live stream, but I've been out here, been having a great time, been very, very busy. Today didn't get a chance to actually edit the video that I had shot. So wrapping up an incredibly long day, I thought it would be fun to go live, hang out, chat, see if anybody showed up. Who knows if anybody will? Looks like that might be a big no-no. But just wanted to let everybody know. There we go. A couple people have showed up. Now I can feel like I'll have somebody to talk to. Hey Shoshana, hey Jesse, how you doing? Hey Wendy, good to see you guys. JT, JT Kell, good to see you guys. All right, we're getting some people in here. We're having a good time. I know that all the East Coast people are already in bed because it's almost midnight, but I thought I'd check in and hang out with some of the West Coast people that are around. Sound man Shoshana tells me my microphone's working. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Having a very, very fun, excitable week out here in Orlando. Been going very, very hard. What's up, Canada? You guys know I love Canada. And today was a long one. I've had a couple of very, very long days, but tomorrow's kind of our like mellower, relaxing day. So I'll be able to get a little bit caught up on editing and stuff. But yeah, wanted to keep the streak alive, wanted to go live. And check this out. They just started cycling the Skyliner there, where it's closed, but they're somehow cycling it right now, which is pretty cool. What's up, Joe? How you doing, bud? Yeah, so it's pretty neat that they just started running that. It was at a complete dead stop when I was getting everything set, and then I heard them do some certain radio commands, and now they're just like running the Skyliner, which is cool. Dude, if we got a Skyliner in Anaheim, it would be so awesome. It would make Disneyland better, it'd make Anaheim better, it'd make all the new projects better. Like, I would be so crazy excited if they did that. It'd be unreal. I agree. West Coast is great, but it's nice to shake it up and go different places and do different things. Like, I hate when people are like, oh, you can't like both. It's like, no, man, you can love both of them. Yeah, Skyliner's sick, dude. Like, if you haven't ever been here before, I strongly recommend getting a hotel somewhere on the Skyliner pathway. Like, it just changes the trip so absolute much. I absolutely agree with you, Alan. Alan says, "Hi, Bricky. The best thing about the whole Walt Disney World area is the transit options: Skyliner, monorail, ferry boats. Yeah, it's just so unique. You know, it's so much different than back home, and that's what I like doing is kind of celebrating the differences between them. So just being someplace where there's a whole different way to navigate and get around, and like, you know, obviously I love the four parks out here. Admittedly, I haven't spent as much time as Animal Kingdom because it's a little bit hard to get to because Animal Kingdom isn't on the transportation system. But the transportation system makes getting to the other three parks so easy, but it also makes it fun to hang out and check out the different resorts and stuff. Because, like, for example, the other night, everybody got into town yesterday and they didn't have theme park tickets and stuff. So we took the Skyliner over to Epcot, but didn't go in. We went over to Boardwalk, ate at the Cake Bake Shop, and then my friends had seen the video that I did the day before and they wanted to walk that same path. They're like, we want to walk back to Hollywood Studios. That looked really fun. So, like, you know, 10 o'clock at night, we just took the back path. We went over to the Swan and Dolphin. We checked out the lobby. We bought some coffees there and kind of hung out, checked out that. And then we just came back up. And as we were walking on that path that was in, I guess that would be Monday's video or Tuesday's video, it's all blurring together. Oh, it's so quiet when they stop the Skyliner. It's like crazy how quiet it is. Anyways, when we were walking on that Hollywood Studios path, we could hear Phantasmic happening over, at the base of Tower of Terror. So it's so cool how it really is its own little world and how it's all connected, which was kind of the thesis of the video that I did the other day, where it's like, Walt had this dream, and so many people are bummed out, like, oh, they failed Walt's dream. But I don't know, like, Walt's dream was a bit ambitious. If you think of Epcot as kind of the center of Walt Disney World, like I do, you look at how all of the resorts kind of radiate out from it and the different theme parks, like it's not what he dreamed, but it's not insanely different than what he dreamed. There's a little bit of a connective tissue there, which is pretty cool. I don't know how long I'm going live tonight. I am tired. I've been out since 8 a.m. It's midnight here. I spent 10 hours in a theme park today filming a video. Yeah, I mean, I'm tired, but I'm hanging out. It's midnight. You're supposed to sound tired when it's midnight. What's up, JS Ardone? Thank you so much for the super chat, bud. I appreciate you. Starbucks money. Yeah, I'm going to be needing some coffees tomorrow, that's for sure. Yeah, so having a good time. Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing, Hollow Gelato. Like, you don't have to pick Disneyland or Walt Disney World. You can simply love them both for what they do, right? Like, it's awesome in Disneyland that, eventually if they build a third park, you'll be able to walk to all three parks and all the hotels. So it's all on foot, making it the complete opposite of Walt Disney World, where you can walk to some parts of it, but you need a monorail or a boat just to get you across the lake to other parts of it. So yeah, it's cool. I have a video that will come out on the other channel on Saturday that is all about Hollywood Studios and about the design of Hollywood Studios. What are you doing? Oh, you getting some waters? Ladies and gentlemen, cameo appearance from Mr. Chris Glass. You hitting the refill station?
Fresh
Oh,
waters.
yeah, look at that, fresh waters. Dude,
What's up, everybody?
Chris Glass is joining us. Hey, I always love, no matter where I go, it's always quiet. And then, like, two people are over there on the rail. It just always works out that way. Chris, I'm not saying where we were at today, but we had a very action-packed day today.
Oh, I'll be honest, it started out, I thought I was going to hate the day.
Yeah.
I really thought what was happening was going to ruin my day. But it turned into like maybe one of the most fun days I've had in a really long time.
Yeah, today was awesome.
The night ended at such a crescendo that I was like buzzing from it.
Yeah. We caught that theme park high tonight.
Yeah, it was great. I
Yeah.
can't wait for all of you guys to see what we did. It was so much fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, back to my room.
Yeah. Good night.
See you guys.
See you in the morning, bud.
Yep.
How cool is that? I just looked over and I just saw him cruising by, and I'm like, oh, he's refilling his water. Hold on real quick. Let me re-put my microphone on here. There we go. Okay, let's see here. I saw a super chat come through, so I definitely want to say hello. Doggone Via. Have you ridden Cosmic Rewind? I rode it one time. It made me absolutely sick. But I rode it once, which is important because now I know how cool it is, and I also just know that it's not for me. I love Pop Century. I think it's really cool. I think it's a good value. You're never in your room that much. And I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see here. We have a Muppets hot take from one of my Magic Bricky members. Muppets hot take. The way the new show is shot. Oh, I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment, but I'll read it anyways. The way the new show is shot erodes some of the live performance authenticity vibe from the OG. It feels like they are shooting too cinematic. Should be shot like the SNL, in my opinion. Interesting. Yeah, Star Wars Mike, doing a live from Walt Disney World. As I said, I shot a video last night, actually about Pop Century and its design. This hotel does a lot of really cool design tricks that most people don't ever think about or talk about. But I was out early today. We went over to Topolino, had breakfast and all that stuff. And then once we got done with that, because it took a lot longer than what we thought, it was time to head off to a theme park. So we did a theme park from about 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And then we had some dinner. And I was like, yeah, by the time I got a video edited, it'd be too late to release it. So I just said, I'll go live, hang out, talk to some friends, see what's going on, and say hi to everybody, give an update from the trip. Oh, it looks like I missed another super chat here. Can I see that? Oh, Joe, Joe, Joe Johansson. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Give that a heart there. Sick. Thank you, sir. Must have came through when I was talking to Chris. If I see a 7-foot man walking around Walt Disney World, I'll probably not say hi to him, because what if it's the wrong 7-foot man and I make a giant angry? Damn, Australia. Look, can you guys see the spotlights from Epcot over there, just kind of cruising around in the sky? I thought I had something to drink. I was getting ready to go take a drink, and then I realized it was just my camera sitting over here. That's not something to drink. Let's see here. The KN128, as a Walt Disney World local, it's cool to see you here, Bricky. I hope you have a great time, man. Personally, I prefer Disneyland, but this is my home. I'll be visiting Disneyland in May through July. Yeah, it's very cool to come out here. It's cool to, be someplace different, different perspective, different appreciation for things. Freshens up the channel, freshens up my perspective. Like, it's just good to mix it all up. Um, I'm always amazed how much I just love coming out here. And it's fun because there's a lot of design stories, a lot of vlog stories to tell out here. Oh, somebody had asked me earlier what I was doing on the other channel this week. So on my main channel, Hey Bricky, it's a design video about Hollywood studios. There's some things with Hollywood studios that never made sense to me. And so I did some research and I kind of figured out, like, oh, this is why Hollywood studios feels this way. Like, this is what they did in their design and why it doesn't make sense. And my theory is that normally in a Disney park, when something doesn't make sense, there's a why. There's a why that exists. So once I did the research, I was like, oh, Hollywood studios now makes a lot more sense to me. And I now also understand the complications of how they're going to try to grow that park. Because if you think about it, Hollywood studios, it's like one part Disneyland and then one part something else. And where those two design languages clash, there's a real mismatch. And the flow of that park is weird. And as they keep building new things on it, its overall shape keeps getting more and more abstract. So I wanted to know the why. I researched it, I found the why, I made a video about it. So if you don't know how it ended up being such a weird park, it'll be cool in that way. But if you're curious to see how it's going to grow and some problems they need to solve, then it's also kind of interesting on that front too. So that's what I have planned for Saturday. So Monday, that was the first video I filmed. And then I had to film 2 other videos and get those out, because that was when I spent an entire Tuesday. I spent the entire day at Epic Universe by myself, um, and that was a very, very, very long day. So, kind of moving things around, get a lot of stuff done while I'm here. Let's see here. John says, "Hey, bud, I appreciate you showing up every day. I practically grew up at Disneyland with family working for Walt. It's cool. I don't get there much anymore, but I really appreciate the secondhand happiness." Yeah, man. For me, the way my brain works with doing the vlog, it's easier for me to be like, post for 100 days and then take a break, and then post for another 100 days and take a break. Because the way my mind works, if I keep doing something, it becomes muscle memory, and there's no excuse not to do it. But giving myself permission that there's an end goal, 100 days, and then take a break, and think of it as seasons, it's like I'm a daily vlogger, but I have relief built into my system. And it just works the best for me, for my creative output, for my energy, for the way that I need to do things to make it all work, and so I can keep doing it. So yeah, I like showing up every day. I know some people watch every day, and I appreciate that. And it's a part of their day, but it's also like a part of my ritual too. So it's a symbiotic relationship for sure. Please tell your friends that you're with I said hi. I will. I'll tell them, Jesse. I'll tell them that you said hi. Yeah, almost 30K over here. We'll get there when we get there. I mean, the thing about the subscriber numbers is like, subscribers really only help a channel if they're active subscribers. So I enjoy it. But, can't put too much um, stock into that number. You can't let the amount of subscribers you have define yourself. But yeah, so excited because tomorrow we're doing a resort stay, and then the rest of the trip we'll be ripping the Disney parks with all my friends. And I always love doing that. Yeah, Jay Harris. I mean, it's a little bit after midnight, and I've been going all day, but commitment is a commitment. Let's see here. Subs equals watch hours. Yeah, I mean, I could explain to you how YouTube works. I'll give you a fascinating YouTube tip that most people don't know. So, when people get angry, they will tell a YouTuber, "Oh, you lost me, man. You did X, Y, and Z, and I can't support you anymore, and I'm unsubscribing." And people will tell you they're unsubscribing because they try to hurt your feelings. Because everybody goes, "Hey, if you like my video, please subscribe. That would really help me." So the viewer goes, if I subscribe to a channel, I'm helping them. So if I want to hurt a channel, I unsubscribe from them. And so a lot of people will use the "I'm subscribing" as this sort of threat to like punish you or to make you mad. But when somebody unsubscribes from your channel, they're actually doing you a great favor. Because if you're like, "I'm done with you, you said something that I disagree with, or I don't like the way you're doing your videos, or it's not for me anymore," and you unsubscribe, then you do me a favor. Because tomorrow, when I post a video, YouTube doesn't think you're a subscriber anymore. So they're not going to show you my video. So therefore, you're out of my life, and you're actually making my life stronger through the algorithm. And therefore YouTube has more trust in me, and they go further. But I'll give you guys a pro tip. If you hate somebody on YouTube and you really, really want to work against them on YouTube, don't unsubscribe. Stay subscribed, but then never watch their videos. Because what YouTube will do is they'll show you a video, it'll be on your homepage, and you're a subscriber. And after that video gets posted in the first 10 minutes and they show it to you and you don't click on it, YouTube goes, their subscribers aren't clicking. It's not a very good video, and the video won't go that far. So the real way to get even with somebody is to stay subscribed, but to never watch their videos. That is the best way to F somebody over. But people go, I don't like you, I'm leaving. And then they leave and you're like, that's awesome. You actually just did me a huge favor. So there you go. There is the real strategy that nobody ever tells you. And I know that seems weird, but like you're giving them a false metric that counts against their overall score. So yeah, if revenge is your thing, I just told you the best way to find revenge. So I have studied YouTube very deeply over the last 3 years. It's had a lot to do with my growth, and I've just learned things like that. So that's one of the funny things, that when people threaten you about leaving, it's like, don't let the door kick you in the ass. So, okay, here's what's happening with me in Epic Universe. You guys are my homies. You show up after midnight. Here's what's happening. I'll be fully transparent with you. So, I had to batch record some videos. Tomorrow's video on this channel will be a design review of Pop Century. I think you should watch it. It talks about design and what Disney does to put value in a value hotel. It's kind of a different spin on a part of the parks nobody talks about. Day after that will be a Disney Springs Resorts video with my friends. And then all next week will be me vlogging in the parks with my friends, riding rides, park hopping, going to different places. So essentially the Walt Disney World programming will go through this week and go through next week. And then after I take my 1 day break where I post on the other channel, when I come back in a week, we will kick off Epic Universe Week, because I have filmed a grand total of 6 different Epic Universe videos. I have spent a grand total of 24 hours in that park. And this is what the programming will look like for Epic Universe Week. So when the week kicks off on a Sunday, each day for 5 days in a row will be one video that will break down each one of the lands. And it goes under the series Disneyland Expert does Celestial Park for the first time. Disneyland Expert does, Super Nintendo World for the first time. So the way that those videos work is I was there by myself and I went low and slow through every land. I gave myself a 2-hour budget to spend in every land, not to ride anything. I don't go into any stores. I don't eat any food. I don't do any of the attractions. But I literally went through each land with a pretty fine-tooth comb and broke down all the design decisions. Some really, really good design decisions, some questionable design decisions, and talked a lot about theme park industry. Kind of a thing I've been talking about on this channel a lot this week, because it kind of pops up when I come out to the East Coast. Is like, I don't ever want to be like Disneyland's better than Disney World or Disney World's better than Disneyland. I don't compare the parks to tell you which one's better. I compare the parks to show you what they've learned from each other. And because Epic Universe is built with a decent amount of Disney knowledge, it is in the lineage of US theme parks. And what they did at Epic Universe is going to inform the next wave of Disney parks. So I don't see it as like corporation against corporation. I see it as like an industry, and how the industry keeps inspiring the industry and raising the standards. And really, who I think wins is us, the consumer. Because when you see certain parts of what they did at Epic and you think about what they did intellectually, it really puts Disney in a moment where they need to meet that moment or go beyond it. So if you have two big giants in the theme park industry and they're constantly trying to outperform each other, who wins? We do, the consumer does, because we keep getting better stuff more often, more aggressive business, and we get to vote with our dollars. Like, for example, I'm out here for basically like 10 days, and Universal got 2 of my days. So they got 20% of my time, and they got 20% of my tourist dollars. And so, you know, does Disney miss me? Do they notice that? Who knows? But if everybody came out here and if everybody gave Universal 20% of their time, then that would definitely start to change the industry. So these 5 videos go through each land, break them down from a designer's perspective, kind of a different take on things. Not talking about the properties, but really talking about people flow, design language, like how intuitive some of the spaces are and how kind of, they took um, some really wild chances, and I wanted to celebrate those. Epic Universe does not have a parade. It does not have a lot of entertainment. But I didn't really critique it on what's not there. I critiqued it on what they built and how efficient it is. And so that's all fine to see it that way. But then the week will end with the final video for Epic Universe Week, which is the video that I shot today, where I went back to the park, not by myself, but with 4 of my friends, and we did a neat experiment. 2 of them bought the very, very expensive, like $400 skip the line ticket, and then 2 of them bought the regular ticket. And so we had 2 different couples paying at 2 different levels. That created 2 different experiences. And they did me a solid. They rode a lot of the rides that I can't ride and then reviewed them for me. And then I did get to ride one ride, and it is literally one of my favorite rides I've ever rode. And that's the theme park high I'm on right now. So Epic Universe Week will be kicking off in about a week and a half. And I'm really, really excited to show you guys what I did out there. Okay, let's see here. Widow Girl, I can't remember your real name. I'm sorry, and your screen name's hard for me to read, but she writes, did you ride any cool boats today? No boats today. Here's most of a slice of cake at the bake shop, or a couple of cold brews, whatever makes you happier. Thank you so much for the super and for being a magic bricky holder. I appreciate you, bud. Uh, no boats today. They don't have boat rides at Epic, and I wish they did. But I do appreciate the reimbursement on the cake that I bought, and it was good. It was really, really good. Did I miss one over here? Sorry, let me just house cleaning real quick. It shows the little super chats up in the top of my screen, but when you click on them, can I click on it and see it? No. Hold on. Can I click on it and see this one for... Sorry, guys. I don't enjoy doing this on my phone. I hate that you have to see my finger go by. Let's just do this. Let's look at the sites while I can see if I can pull up this super chat, because I don't want to ignore anybody. One moment. Patience. I'm going back. I'm going back. One second. Oh, I don't see it in the back catalog there. Sorry if I... Oh, no, there it is. There it is. It was afterwards. All right, Nathan. Nathan writes, been watching your COVID era videos. Buena Vista Street, Touch of Disney time frame. Wasn't a friend back then, which is how we say subscriber on this channel. And it's very interesting to look back. Lots of feels. Yeah, man. Well, first off, thank you so much for the super chat. And I found 2020 and the COVID time period to be a very awkward and weird time, but also a very challenging time. And I tried to rise to that challenge. I don't look back on it I mean, it's obviously weird, and you look back on it like, wow, it was really a depressing time. But I tried really, really hard to make the best of times from the worst of times. And I do look back on COVID and what I did on YouTube with a tremendous amount of pride. Because I feel like it was a weird time, and I feel like I really tried to rise to the occasion and make some good escapism content. And it does somehow, like I kept like during that horrible time, I'm like, trust me, at some moment, no matter how bad today feels, at some moment, you will have love in your heart for this time period. And you will feel nostalgia for that one summer where your kids were home, you stayed home, and you were a family again, or maybe a family for the last time. Because, I mean, really, since the thawing out from 2020, everybody's life is back to moving 100 miles an hour, and in some respects, like maybe 150 miles an hour. And so right now the theme parks are crazy, they're busy, like Epic Universe is open and there's all this stuff going on. And there's a little part of my brain that sometimes goes, how cute that I went to Buena Vista Street and you could only go to the end of Carthay Circle and go down to Hollywood or over by Soarin'. That's all you had out of the entire resort and downtown Disney. And that felt like a blessing. And then Touch of Disney, guys, we bought theme park tickets for a theme park where you couldn't ride any of the rides. Just a guy and a girl. What's up, guys? How you all doing? If you don't know them, you got to subscribe to Just a Guy and a Girl. They're the best. Jay Harris, Florida requires two-handed hydration. So that's a good reference. So here's to keep you locked and loaded. Appreciate your time and your hard work. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. I appreciate the two beverages. I always appreciate anybody in the two bevy gang. Give that a heart. There we go. Yeah, so anyways, that's cool that people are going back and watching that time period. It was definitely a very, very interesting time for sure. Hugo, the Disney World trip so far, Bricky, the joy is infectious. Yeah, man. When I come out here, it just like pumps me up, like it like gets me going. And, a change of scenery is always good for the soul. It's always good for the heart. Speaking of, let's do a little walk, shall we? I'm kind of limited what I can do because I have my real camera over here in my hand, but let's take a little walk. So if you've never stayed here before, sorry, I just burped. Waffle House is fighting back. Here is the Pop Century Hotel. And I was just down in one of these little parklets here. And then right here is where you can get on the Disney Skyliner. So you just come right over here. We meet our friends on this bridge in the morning. And this bridge just has the Skyliners ripping over this water right here. Is the internet bad? Is that what you're telling me? Let me see here. You're saying the bandwidth in the Disney bubble is rough. So is the stream looking bad? I'll stop moving around if it is. Somebody let me know if it's looking like poo-poo internet. The Skyliner does intimidate some people. Inconsistent? All right. Well, should I, if it's not looking good, should I kill the stream? Stream is great. All right. All right. Well, I'm moving around. If it gets bad, just tell me and I'll just quit. But I thought it'd be fun to cruise around a little bit. Hold on, let me cruise over here. Somebody just sent over a super. Maybe they're telling me if the stream's good or not. Oh, here we go. Here's an idea from Doggone Van Life. How about Polynesian Land and Animal Kingdom anchored to a Moana e-ticket? Double-hulled voyage canoe, riding waves, volcano. So it's interesting you say that because there is proof that Disney's been testing. We're trying to patent a Moana type ride where you do get on the boat that her and I think Maui Maui ride on, and it looks like the boat is in a spherical theater that would probably project around you, like, you know, the nighttime sky and you know, the water effects and all that stuff. So I do think that that's something they're definitely thinking about. So here you can see them sleeping. Sleeping. So here's some people saying that they can't see it, but they can only hear it. So yeah, maybe it's time to say goodbye. Yeah, I'm missing my buddy the cat. So then over here is the art of animation, which is a whole different resort. But like, check this out. It's just this whole big body of water. Yeah, I'm just moving around, so I'm probably going from tower to tower. I'm not on the Wi-Fi. I'm just on my regular AT&T connection. What's up, Brian? How you doing, buddy? And then over here, you have another awesome view with the Skyliner station there that takes you off. Yeah, Art of Animation was supposed to be part of Pop Century, but little thing called September 11th happened, and then everything kind of got paused. Which is funny because earlier we were talking about 2020, and you know, the theme parks, often and many times in their history, they have to reflect what social things are going on in our world, you know, because theme parks are very much economy indicators. So when world history gets wild and the economy changes, the theme parks have to change. And then we got view over here again. Yeah, some real empty walkway shots. All right, so what do we do? Do we call it? If it looks crappy, I'm willing to say goodbye. But if it looks good, I could hang out here, answer your questions, or we could do a walking tour of Pop Century and look at some of the different details of it. You let me know what works for you. I got a little bit more gas in the tank. You should go to bed. I mean, if I sound tired and I'm being boring, let me know and I'll go to bed easily. Yeah. Walking tour? All right, we'll do a lap. How about we do a lap and then we'll call it? How's that sound? All right, we'll do a little lap, walking tour. Food court is not open. Nothing is open. I'm probably going to be the only person that you see. So, we have a ginormous yo-yo. But what's cool when you get over on this side is like you're right on the lake. It is 12:30 here. So it's so quiet and peaceful. I don't have a gimbal either, so if it's bumpy, like this is just buds hanging out. This is not a professional production. This is me just being present and keeping a promise that I made to myself and to my audience that I would show up every day if it was possible. And doing a live stream made it possible. So you can check out over here how they do like a ombre or a gradient with the colors on the different layers, right? So going from a yellow to a dark orange on the top and a couple of half tones in the middle there. So we're on the backside of the 70s. And it is so quiet and peaceful. I'm just going to shut up for a second so you guys can hear how quiet it is. So when I stop talking, it is just like dead, dead silent. I'm not telling you anything about Epic. I am holding that content dear to my chest. I have spent a lot of money and a lot of time, so I do not want to shoot myself in the foot. I will only tell you that Epic Universe Week is coming. It will be 6 videos, 5 that are theme park design reviews. We'll keep going this way. And then 1, which is me ripping the park with my friends, and everybody takes turns reviewing rides, reviewing lands. So you get to see some other people's opinions. You also get to see what it's like if you buy the $400 a person ticket or just the regular $180 or whatever it costs a ticket. All right, so we're walking along the lakeside. Now you notice when you get on the backside, these are the buildings that a lot of people don't see. And what do? They just painted them the same color. The buildings that are in the main thoroughfare, they get the extra love. I don't know if Bricky's going to get scared, Aurora. I think I'll be able to make it through here on my own in this darkness. But if somebody does attack me, I've got almost 200 people here to watch my back, and I can't believe there's 200 people here. So thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you to all my Magic Bricky holders, and thank you to all my super chatters. Appreciate you guys for taking a stroll with me and showing up and hanging out. Dude, the grounds are immaculate here. Like, they do such a good job of keeping everything super, super clean. There's like a bunch of movement out on the water, but it's way too cold. So essentially what we've just done is we've kind of gone around the outer park loop, and now we're going to roll up to the main thoroughfare where they have all the oversized icons, which actually tomorrow's video I'm kind of ruining, because tomorrow's video is a video where I talk about the icons and sort of their design significance and really kind of the design theory behind Pop Century. So, it'll probably go straight to the toilet. But I'm passionate about it. And if I find passion in a story, then I feel like it's worth telling. So we got Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, as well as these big, cool Rubik's Cubes. And you know, what's pretty interesting is just like, look at this parklet that they put in the middle here. You know, it's just a basic bitch hotel, but with the icons and the landscaping and the attention to detail, definitely gives it a very different and unique feeling. I will maybe stay at a Universal hotel at some point, but right now, just not prioritize. I like staying here. I did 2 days in Universal on this trip. It's the most I've ever done out here. It's my first time ever going to Universal theme parks on the East Coast. And I have to say, and I'm not bullshitting you, I'm not on the media list. I pay for everything out of my own pocket. Like, nobody's comping anything for me. Well, other than the Anaheim Ducks, they comped my Ducks video that I did. The team members at Universal are some of the nicest, most professional people I've ever seen in a theme park. Did not have one negative interaction at all. Like, everybody I talked to there was super friendly. And if I had a problem, they went above and beyond. So I was very, very pleased with the customer service of Epic Universe. Like, sometimes when you go to a new place, you feel like people aren't trained, or they hired a bunch of people at once, so you get people that are in it for the wrong reasons. But man, everybody was great. So there's like these little interesting installations, right? This one's not in tomorrow's video, so we can break this down. But like, you know, a little spot to hang out and talk, where you could also just play Twister. And probably nobody's actually playing Twister, but just putting that little storytelling beat there, it is cute, right, Jess? Right, Pandora? It's like just a little fun thing to add. And here's this little magic moment on the ground. And a ginormous big wheel. Ginormous foosball. And then probably coming up is the grandest of them all. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know what this means to me. And think about it, with the big wheel, they had to license that. Big wheel's not a Disney brand, but this is. How awesome is that? And you guys know I now have one of these. Actually, I have two. I accidentally bought two Mickey Mouse phones. So at an upcoming live stream, I'm going to give one away. Yeah, the phone, guys. The phone that I bought myself to celebrate. And it is so ginormous and so cool. I don't have the landline to make it work. That is a good question, though. But do you have the landline? No. The phone to me is more of a trophy than it is a phone. All right, let's keep moving on. Sorry, I had to wipe my finger there for a second. All right, here comes some people. So we'll just come over here so we don't bother these people. So there's something that's cool that they do at Pop Century. a lot of people bring decorations and they decorate their windows. And you'll see lots of people that in their, because you only get one window, and people will decorate their window and they'll write like, so and so's birthday or the Cooper family's fifth trip, or they'll put decorations up for Valentine's Day. I guarantee you there'll be so many windows that have Valentine's Day decorations. And the cast members that work here, they give out awards for the best windows. Uh-oh. Am I getting ready to get sprayed by sprinklers? So like the windows is such a like a cool little thing that they're not doing that at the Contemporary. So it kind of gives this hotel like its own unique culture, of people celebrating and kind of, definitely a different demo of people doing a different kind of like celebrating, which always goes to show that there's so many different ways that you can Disney. Oh, cruise line people do that with their doors? That's interesting. All right. Let's keep moving. Here comes somebody, so we'll just film the busted sprinkler. And on this twister, if you get green, bro, you are getting drenched. All right. They have passed. So now we're coming up to the main hall where they have the decades on the back side. Obviously, this is the back side of the hotel. I would take you guys over here, but it looks like we're not going to be able to go any further. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to walk you guys over and show you Goofy and the Corvette, but it appears this is shut down. Yeah, that's my car. I always bring my car out to Orlando with me and park it by the hotel. But yeah, I wanted to go over there, but they've obviously got the road closed. So don't want to trespass. Don't want to break the rules. Don't want one of the reaction channels to clip this and be like, oh man, look at this guy, another self-entitled vlogger that can just jump over the barricade. Yeah. Imagine if I go on the other side of that cone, everything I worked for is ruined. Ruined. So yeah, it is a big place. So we started down here. That's where we started, right there. And we have worked our way over to here. Oh man, we were so close to going to the big Roger Rabbit. But we didn't make it to the Roger Rabbit. All right, let's keep our walking tour going. There were cones. I love the wedding singer. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. When we were at the cake bake shop, we bought like 4 pieces of cake and 2 pieces of pie, and we were all just like eating off the same. No, this one's good, that one's good. And I said to Hammer from Violent Gentlemen, I go, hey, this is just like the wedding cake tasting scene in the wedding singer. So here we go. We have the decades, the 80s, the 90s. No, it wasn't $300 in cake. We just got slices. I think our total bill, let's see, there was 6 of us there, and it ended up being like $36 a person. So you do the math. So here's the food hall, all shut down for the night, where you can eat here and then order in the main area there. And then there's the merch shop. Yeah. That is such a great point, that when you get the hammers and the glasses together, it just sounds like a clash, right? And then you put the brickies in the mix too. A lot of strong noun names. Here's the massive pop. Yeah, the hotel's huge. It's absolutely huge. There's two people over there playing ping pong. All right, gonna walk you up to the two more of the icons, show you this other pool, and then we'll work our way back up through the center spine there. But yeah, it's like, look how nice landscaped it is. There's all these little park areas. So like these hotels over here, these rooms aren't on the water and they don't face the pools, so they do like a little like parklet space there. And then you got the giant bowling pin. But coming up on probably my favorite icon is the big Mickey. But this one's definitely my second favorite one. And I do love this courtyard, how they place the two icons together. It's cool. So we'll come over here first, where you can see Lady, inspired by the dog that Walt Disney surprised Lillian with for Christmas one year. It wasn't a Cocker Spaniel, it was a Chow. But putting the puppy in the hat box was his thing. You know what, Knights? Thank you for the super chat. And I am having an amazing time in Orlando. Having a really great time. So much fun indeed that I didn't have time to edit today's video. I shot it like at this time last night, but just didn't have time to edit it today. So that's why we're doing a live, to keep the streak alive. So thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, bud. So we got Lady here. And we got this pool over here with the giant jukebox on the back side, which is pretty cool. And I don't know what the shape of the pool is. The pool looks like it's some sort of interesting shape. But what matters the most to me, is this bad boy right here. Baxter, aka Tramp. My first dog, my first love, was my dog Baxter, who looks so much like Tramp. So every time I see Tramp, it just literally reminds me of my homie. And on all my Disney stuff, if you get to pick an avatar, like on the Disney apps, anywhere where they allow you to pick an avatar, I always pick Baxter, Tramp. Yeah, if I was a Disney character, that's me. If I can't be Walt Disney, then that's the one that I choose. And if over on my main channel, you watch my Pope video, not about the Pope, sorry, my nose is starting to run, not about the Pope, as in the religious leader or figure, but as in the popes that lived at Disneyland. They were the only people to ever live at the studio in Burbank. They were the only people to ever live at Walt Disney World. And they were the only people to ever live at Disneyland. And so the popes were the people that trained the horses and took care of all the animals. And one of the cool fun facts that I uncovered when I was researching them is that Disney, they adopted, the company adopted this stray dog that they would model Tramp after and use all of his mannerisms to, create the character Tramp. So when they were done with the movie, they no longer needed the dog, but obviously he needed a place to live. So the popes would take Tramp and he would live with them and he'd live out the rest of his years. So out of all the Disney movies you've seen, and out of all the Disney characters you've seen, the only Disney character that ever actually lived at Disneyland and lived out their final years there was Tramp. Not the animated dog, but the real dog. So not only is he my avatar, not only is he my spirit guide, but he's also my hero because he got to live at Disneyland. How cool is that Tramp lived at Disneyland? So I love, 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 love that story. All right, let's work our way back to the main pool. Yeah, man. You got to watch that video over on the other channel about the popes. The only people to ever live in Disneyland. It is a unbelievable story that took a lot of time to research because it's a pretty obscure story. But I went through all kinds of newspaper articles. I went through all kinds of different pieces of Disney history to piece it all together. And the house that they used to live in is still on Disney property, but it's now kind of backstage. All right, we're going to work our way up to the main entryway of the hotel. Maybe I'll answer a couple more questions, and then this old dog is going to call it a day. Because I have had another long one. And I'm not complaining. I've had an awesome time. I just go hard when I'm out here. All right, there's a couple doing the ping pong over there. So we'll just go the back route to where we're going. So you guys can see one of these more interior passages. Really, really quiet. Very peaceful. I shall call you Bricky the Tramp now. Please don't. Just know, though, that I am a lovable little mutt. Oh, they running the Skyliner again. What are they doing running the Skyliner? Remember we were over there and it was running and then it was stopped? And now they're running it again. Should I go volunteer? Be like, guys, if you need any human test subject to ride the Skyliner, I would love to do it right now. Yeah, look at her. I wonder if they're, you know what? Somebody just wrote secret nighttime testing. I wonder if they're working on the mechanism itself or if they're maybe training some cast members, but I doubt they do overnight training. JT Cal, thank you so much for being a mod and always holding down the business so I can try to hold down the entertainment. Yeah, they are rocking those bad boys. That's crazy. I was not expecting to see that. All right. I just looked at my watch. It is 1 a.m. out here. What am I doing right now? Okay. I'll take a couple more questions if anybody has any, and then I will call it a night. Tomorrow's video is about the design of Pop Century. Hope that you'll watch it. And then, what's tomorrow, Friday? Oh yeah. And then Saturday's the main channel. Oh, that means I get to take a day off from editing. Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, yeah, that's right. So this coming week will be Walt Disney World Week Part 2, where we're in the parks with my friends. And then after that, a week from this Sunday, we'll kick off Epic Universe Week. 6 videos, a whole week of Epic Universe. See me break it down as a designer. Yeah, Friday the 13th. Get some sleep. This has been great. I'm glad you guys showed up. I cannot believe there's over 200 people here. That's unbelievable. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Oh, dude, how many steps? I have had 4 20,000 plus steps days. Yeah, well, kind of part of the plan is now that I'm doing YouTube full time. Part of the plan was to come here, shoot a lot of videos, so that the trip would, pay for itself, but also give me some extra time. So once I get all the videos produced and scheduled, then I have the availability to work on merchandise. So this trip and going so hard while I'm here will give me the availability to get ahead. So yes, new merchandise designs coming, old stuff getting reordered. I just had to prioritize the content first. And so I'll be getting all of that together. And then in March, can you believe in March already? We will have made the 100th day in the row of posting, which if you look at this 100 days, it's been wild. This 100 days started right before I went to Europe. There was a Europe trip. There was losing Adam. There was going full-time YouTube. There was this trip out here, Epic Universe. Like, it has been a wild 100 days. Okay, friends, I think this is where we say goodbye. YouTube consulting will come. I just gotta get my own stuff. I wasn't really planning on going full-time YouTube in January. It's just kind of the way that the economy shook out. So I got to kind of get my own stuff in order. So as you've been noticing from like week 1 in January till we're now at like what, the 6th week of the year, every week you've seen me slowly adapt things, align things. Like I have a big plan. It's just, when you're making a video every day, editing a video every day, there's only so much time to do all the things you need to do. So it's just been a slow progress of getting where we're going to go. But definitely YouTube consulting, mentoring is something I want to get into. I've studied the algorithm really, really hard for the last couple of years, and feel like I've learned a thing or two. And I think if you look at my channel, and I think I'm building a channel in a very healthy way. I think I could help other people do that, but that will come in time because you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you can put it on somebody else. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you to everybody who showed up tonight. Thank you for my super chatters. Thank you for my magic brick keys. I appreciate all the support. Does come in handy. Does make things like this way more possible. So it's always fun to hang out with you folks. And if you don't mind, right now, I'm going to go snooze. Snoozy, 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 snoozy. I'll see you tomorrow when I do a design review. Please show up. Please watch it. Don't let this video kill that video. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Stu. Scruffs. You are a sniper. You are a super chat sniper. I didn't even see you in here. I didn't even think you were here. I'm like, oh, I must have missed him. J.R. Sardone, I see you trying to snipe, but Stu, you are a sniper. I didn't even see you in here. I didn't even know you were here. And then you snipe me at the very end. You are something else. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Snipers.